You've been standing at the edge long enough watching others jump, long enough telling yourself one day, long enough negotiating with fear like it's your business partner instead of your prison guard. And here's the truth, nobody wants to say out loud, waiting is not harmless. Waiting is not neutral. Waiting is not patience. Waiting is decay. Because while you wait, your dreams don't sit still, they shrink. Your confidence doesn't stay frozen, it erodes. Your potential doesn't pause, it quietly slips through your fingers like sand you refuse to close your hand around. You think you're being careful. You think you're being strategic. You think you're just waiting for the right time. But the right time has been knocking on your door for years, and every time you heard it, you turned the lights off and pretended you weren't home. Because moving requires something waiting never will. Courage, not comfort, not certainty, not guarantees. Courage. And courage doesn't show up when everything is perfect. Courage shows up when everything is unclear, messy, and uncertain, and you move anyway. Look at the people you admire. The ones whose names echo through history like thunder. They weren't chosen. They weren't handed perfect conditions. They weren't waiting for permission. They moved. When Thomas Edison failed 1,000 times, he didn't wait for a better idea to magically appear. He moved through failure until it became success. When Henry Ford was told his vision was impossible, he didn't wait for approval. He built anyway. When Walt Disney was fired for lacking imagination, he didn't sit around questioning his worth. He created a world that proved everyone wrong. They didn't wait for clarity. They created it through motion. Because clarity doesn't come before movement, it comes because of it. And that's where you've been stuck. You've been trying to see the whole staircase before taking the first step. You've been trying to eliminate every risk before making a decision. You've been trying to feel ready before you act. But readiness is a myth. No one is ready when they begin. Not the athlete stepping into the arena. Not the entrepreneur launching their first idea. Not the dreamer deciding to finally stop dreaming and start doing. They're all afraid. The difference? They move anyway. And that's the shift you need to make today, not tomorrow, not next week, not when things feel right. Now, because movement changes everything. Movement breaks fear. Movement builds momentum. Movement turns doubt into data. Movement transforms ideas into reality. You don't think your way into a new life, you act your way into it. Every step you take rewires your identity. Every action you commit to tells your mind, this is who I am now. Not someone who waits, not someone who hesitates, not someone who watches life pass by from the sidelines, but someone who moves. And once you start moving, something powerful happens. You begin to see opportunities you couldn't see before. You begin to meet people you would have never encountered. You begin to discover strengths you didn't even know you had. Because action reveals, waiting hides. And the longer you wait, the more you convince yourself that staying still is safe. But staying still is the most dangerous place you can be. Because life doesn't stop moving just because you do. Time keeps passing. Opportunities keep shifting. Doors keep opening and closing. And one day, if you're not careful, you'll wake up and realize the life you wanted is now the life you watched someone else live. Not because you couldn't do it, but because you didn't move. So let me ask you something that cuts deeper than comfort. How much longer are you willing to sit in the space between who you are and who you could be? How much longer are you going to let fear dictate your decisions? How much longer are you going to tell yourself stories about why now isn't the time? Because every excuse you make might sound logical, but it's costing you something real. Your growth, your future, your life. And here's the part most people miss. Movement doesn't require perfection. It requires decision. A decision to start where you are. A decision to use what you had. A decision to stop overthinking and start executing. You don't need the perfect plan. You need a starting point. You don't need all the answers. You need the willingness to figure them out along the way. You don't need confidence to begin. You build confidence by beginning. That's the paradox. The thing you're waiting for is waiting for you. Confidence comes from action. Clarity comes from movement. Success comes from persistence. And none of those things show up while you're standing still. So stop waiting for a moment that doesn't exist. Stop negotiating with fear like it has authority over your future. Stop telling yourself you'll start soon. Because soon is the most dangerous word in the human vocabulary. Soon turns into later. Later turns into someday. And someday turns into never, and you were not created to live a never life. You were created to build, to grow, to evolve, to become something greater than your current circumstances. But that only happens when you move. Not perfectly, not flawlessly, but consistently. One step, then another, and suddenly what once felt impossible starts to feel inevitable. Because you're no longer waiting for change, you're creating it. And once you cross that line, once you make the shift from waiting to moving, you realize something that changes everything. The life you want was never out of reach. You were just standing still. Because the moment you stop waiting, you stop living someone else's timeline and you start writing your own. And that's where everything begins to change. Not outside, not instantly, but internally, fundamentally, permanently. Because movement doesn't just change your situation, that changes your identity. You begin to see yourself differently, not as someone who wants things, but as someone who goes after them, that is someone who hopes life will get better, but as someone who makes it better. Not as someone who waits for opportunities, but as someone who creates them. And once that identity shifts, everything else has no choice but to follow. Because your life will always rise or fall to match the standard you set for yourself. If you tolerate delay, you'll live in delay. If you accept excuses, you will be surrounded by them. If you normalize inaction, you will master stagnation. But if you demand movement, if you require progress, if you refuse to stay where you are, then growth becomes your default. And growth is uncomfortable. Let's be real, this isn't the part people like to hear. Growth will stretch you. It will expose your weaknesses. It will force you to confront the version of yourself you've been avoiding. There will be days when motivation disappears. Days when doubt gets louder than belief. When the results don't match the effort. And in those moments, the old version of you will whisper, "See, this is why we don't start." But that voice is a liar. Because those moments aren't signs to stop, they're signs that you finally entered the arena. And nothing meaningful is ever built outside of it. Think about it. Every great story you admire is built on struggle. Not comfort, not ease, not perfect conditions, struggle. Because struggle forces evolution. Abraham Lincoln lost elections before he led a nation. Carnegie came from nothing before he built an empire. Edison failed repeatedly before he lit the world. Do you think they felt ready? Do you think they were confident every step of the way? Number. They doubted. They struggled. They questioned. But they didn't stop. That's the difference. Not talent, not luck, not perfect timing, persistence. The ability to keep moving when everything inside you is telling you to pause. And this is where discipline enters your life, not as punishment, but as power. Because motivation is unreliable. It comes and goes like the wind. One day you feel unstoppable, the next day you feel stuck. One moment you're inspired, the next moment you're distracted. If you rely on motivation, you will always be inconsistent. But discipline doesn't care how you feel. Discipline shows up when motivation disappears. Discipline keeps going when results are slow. Discipline builds momentum when emotions fluctuate. And momentum is everything. Because once you build it, it carries you. It turns effort into habit. It turns action into identity. It turns small wins into unstoppable progress. But here's the truth. Momentum is hard to start and easy to lose. That's why you can't afford to wait. Because every day you delay, you reset your progress back to zero. Every day you hesitate, you weaken your own commitment. Every day you say, "I'll start tomorrow," you train your mind to not trust your own word. And if you can't trust yourself, how can you ever expect to build anything meaningful? Your word to yourself has to become law. When you say you're going to move, you move. When you say you're going to act, you act. When you say you're done waiting, you prove it. Not once, not twice, but consistently. Because consistency is what separates interest from commitment. Everyone is interested in success. Everyone likes the idea of growth. Everyone dreams about a better life, but very few are committed. Because commitment requires sacrifice. It requires waking up when you don't feel like it. It requires working when distractions are calling your name. It requires choosing long-term purpose over short-term comfort. And that's where most people fall apart. They want the result, but not the process. They want the reward, but not the responsibility. They want the outcome, but not the effort. But you don't get one without the other. You don't earn success by wishing for it. You earn it by becoming the type of person who can handle it. And that transformation only happens through movement, through repetition, through failure, through learning, through adapting. Because let's be clear, your first attempt won't be perfect. It won't even be close. You will make mistakes. You will take wrong turns. You will face rejection. But every mistake is feedback. Every failure is information. Every setback is a setup if you choose to see it that way. Because failure is not the opposite of success. It's part of it. The only people who truly fail are the ones who stop moving, the ones who retreat back into waiting, the ones who let fear reclaim control, the ones who convince themselves that trying again isn't worth it. But you're not that person anymore. Not after today. Because now you understand something most people never do. You don't need perfect conditions to begin. You don't need certainty to move forward. You don't need guarantees to take action. You just need to decide. Decide that your future matters more than your fear. Decide that your growth is worth the discomfort. Decide that staying the same is no longer an option. And once that decision is truly made, there is no going back. Because you start to see time differently. You stop wasting it. You stop delaying. You stop pretending you have plenty of it left. Because you realize something powerful. Time is the only resource you can never earn back. Money can return. Opportunities can reappear. Even relationships can be rebuilt. But time, once it's gone, and every second you spend waiting is a second you're not becoming who you're meant to be. So the question is no longer, when will you start? The question is, why haven't you already? What are you really waiting for? Another sign? Another push? Another moment of clarity? This is it. This is the moment. Not because everything is perfect, but because you're finally ready to stop making excuses. And when you move from that place, from that level of awareness, something inside you ignites. A fire that doesn't rely on motivation. A drive that doesn't disappear when things get hard. A focus that cuts through distraction like a blade. Because now it's not about feeling good. It's about becoming better. And that shift, that's where transformation lives. So you get up, you take the step, you make the call, you start the project, you commit to the path. Not because it's easy, but because it's necessary. And as you move, you begin to understand something deeper. You were never stuck. You were just waiting. And now you're done waiting. Because now you understand something most people spend their entire lives avoiding. You understand that nothing is coming to save you. No perfect moment, no sudden breakthrough, no magical wave of motivation that carries you to the life you want. It was always you. It has always been you. And it will always be you. The moment you accept that, fully accept it, is the moment you take your power back. Because power was never in waiting. Power is in movement. Power is in decision. Power is in showing up again and again and again until the person you used to be can't even recognize who you've become. And that transformation, it doesn't happen overnight. It happens in the unseen hours. When no one is watching, when no one is clapping, when no one is validating your effort. It happens when you choose discipline over distraction, when you choose growth over comfort, when you choose purpose over excuses. That's where your new life is built. Not in the spotlight, but in the shadows. Not in comfort, but in challenge. Not in waiting, but in relentless, unapologetic movement. Because let's be honest, this journey is not for everyone. Most people will hear this, feel inspired for a moment, and then go right back to waiting. Waiting for Monday. Waiting for next month. Waiting for when things settle down. Waiting for a version of life that will never come. But you're different now. Because something inside you has shifted. You can feel it. That quiet voice that used to say maybe later is being drowned out by something stronger, something louder, something undeniable. A voice that says now, asterisk, asterisk, now is the time. Now is the moment. Now is where everything changes. Not gradually, not eventually, but decisively. Because you've realized that every second you hesitate, life keeps moving without you. And you're done being left behind. You're done watching others live the life you know you're capable of creating. You're done negotiating with fear like it has the final say. Fear doesn't decide your future. You do. And yes, fear will still be there. It will still whisper doubts. It will still try to slow you down. It will still remind you of every reason why this might not work. But now you move anyway. Because courage is not the absence of fear. It's the decision that something else matters more. Your future matters more. Your growth matters more. Your purpose matters more. And when you move from that place, fear loses its power. Step by step, action by action, choice by choice, you take control. And suddenly the light that once felt distant starts getting closer. Not because it got easier, but because you got stronger. Stronger in your mindset, stronger in your discipline, stronger in your ability to keep going when things don't go your way. And that strength, that's what carries you across the finish line. Not talent, not luck, not perfect timing, but resilience. The ability to fall and rise again, to fail and try again, to doubt and still move forward. That's what separates those who dream from those who become. So as you stand here right now, in this moment, there's only one thing left to do. Decide, not halfway, not temporarily, completely. Decide that you are done waiting, done delaying, done hesitating, done living a life controlled by what if. Because what if will keep you stuck forever? What if I fail? What if it doesn't work? What if I'm not? Enough, but there's another question you've been avoiding. What if you succeed? What if everything you've been holding back on is the very thing that transforms your life? What if the risk you're afraid to take is the opportunity you've been waiting for? What if the version of you on the other side of action is stronger, wiser, and more powerful than you ever imagined? You'll never know if you don't move. So this is it. This is where the old story ends. The story of hesitation, the story of delay, the story of watching life from a distance. And this is where the new story began. The story of action, the story of growth, the story of becoming. Not someday, not later. Now, right now. Because the truth is simple, and it always has been. Your life will not change when you're ready. Your life will change when you decide. So decide, stand up, step forward, take control, and don't look back. Because the moment you stop waiting is the moment you finally start living.